Hey guys, this will be the first video on how to make an RPG game. This game is made in R6, however, if you want you can make it in R15, but that may take longer. So in this video we will make a mob spawning system and swords. Let's get started. Let's start with making swords. In the future we will add more like axes, pickaxes, etc. However, that isn't what we are doing today. Making a tool is quite simple. I'll make another one right now to show you how to make one. First, add a tool to the workspace. This doesn't spawn a tool in, however, we have to do that ourselves. Next, add a part into this tool so we can customize it. Make sure it's not anchored and call this part handle. I forgot to here, but I'll do it after. Now I'll just make a quick sword. Here's my sword. Now we just have to set it up so it can cause damage. Go to the model tab at the top and select every part but the part you call handle. This handle part should be at the bottom of the sword, and then click union. Now make sure this union is not anchored, since we are going to weld it to the handle. So now add a weld constraint to the handle, then make the part O the handle, and the part 1 the new union. Next we want to play a sound when the sword is used, so let's add a sound to the handle as well. I'll just use the one for my other sword, since I don't really need another one. However, you can add different sounds to each sword if you want to. We also need an animation, so create a script inside the tool sword and then inside that script add an animation. Once more I'll just duplicate it from my other sword and I'll show you guys the script after. Animation isn't too difficult. However, if you don't know how to animate, use a rig and press the avatar button at the top, the press animation editor. To animate with the sword, duplicate the sword and throw it into the rig. I'm not going to be teaching you how to animate, though, since I'm not the best myself, but there's some great guides on it. Now I'll add the script and animation in. You can pause to type this script if you want. I'll explain it as well. Basically, these top variables define the sword, if a cooldown is active, the damage of the sword, and if the sword has previously touched an enemy. This part of the script plays the sound, which is inside the handle, and sets the cooldown to true. This loads the animation and then plays it. The animation should be parented to the script. This detects if anything is touching the union, which I have called decoder. Don't forget to change this to the name of your union. After it checks if anything is, it makes the humanoid of the enemy take damage. You can change the amount of damage the sword does by changing the damage variable. Anyways, let's test it out. It works, though I think we should make it can't collide false so it doesn't get stuck. If you make can't collide false to test swords, you will need to put them in the starter pack. We will definitely change this in the future, but for now this should be good. Now it's finally time for the mob spawning. Make a folder called mobs and then create some enemies. Recommend you use rigs and stuff. However, if you know what you are doing, feel free to make custom mobs. After that, create a folder in replicated storage and call it modules. Then create a module script called mobs and copy this script. You can pause for both parts of the script since it's quite a big one, but I'll explain it right now. Basically, this mobtable function stores all data for mobs and defines their names, health, experience when killed, and finally the area they spawn in. Pretty simple. Now to the next part of this script. This part is a bit more difficult though. Pause here to copy and read. This script just requires the name of the mob for now, then uses the mobtable function we just made to set the name and health of the new mob. It also spawns it in a random position in its spawn area, sometimes outside, and places it into the map. For the spawn points for the mobs, make a folder in the workspace called spawn parts and place parts in with the names you want your mobs to spawn into. For example, a noob set to spawn inside the spawn world would need a spawn part with the name of spawn world. When this new function is called through a server script, it will spawn a mob into the game. Now let's put the mobs folder back into replicated storage. Now, this is the final script of this video. Create a script inside of server scripts. This is incredibly basic. However, next video we will change it and make it much better. Probably the simplest script in the whole video lol. If you really want to now, you could add things like this. However, next video we are hopefully gonna make a better system for respawning mobs. And that works pretty cool. We will improve on this next video. If you have any problems with this system, join the Discord server below. Others who may have gotten it to work could probably help you. And if you want more like and subscribe. It helps so much. Let me know what you want to see added in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.